on,
You know,
I'm ready
really,
to go. I got black
unleash
on.
the dragon. Tell me if you really want to unleash the dragon.
What is you talking about, bro? I got all black on. These two got colors on. This over, bro. Okay? What the fuck is up, bro? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Polytickin Podcast, okay? It's episode 106. I'm Marcus. That's Sefa. That's Lance Togo. My heart is jumping through his chest right now. And I'm off. I'm chilling. This is me chilling, bro. Chilling. I can't wait for you to get into it. I'm usually the one yelling at the top of my lungs. I'm doing that right now.
Let's get it. What? This is episode 106? Episode 106. 106 in Park. Yeah, we should have done so. Yeah, we got Roxy and Terrence J. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Yeah, welcome
Who's
to the
Roxy?
I'll let y'all we'll let the crowd decide.
Because you pointed. But see, our frames are different. We got Roxy and Terrence.
Y'all frames are the same on mine, so it's just one frame. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, episode 106 of the Polytickin Podcast, man. Let's get to it. Y'all already know what it is. If y'all want to hear some more of us, y'all want to support us directly, come on down to the Patreon, patreon.com/Polytickin Podcast. Get an extra episode a week. That's 4 extra episodes a month just for $5. You know what I'm saying? We're working on something in the new year, but until then, that's what we got. We got what? 80, we got 83 episodes over there for y'all to catch up on. So if you haven't subscribed yet, man, y'all got a lot of content y'all can pick up on. If you want some more Lance and Marcus, head on down to the Pacific Movie Starter Kit, where they break down contemporary classics of Pacific Islander films. What's the last film y'all did or have coming out?
Soaring Doves.
And that's the
Lupe Falele.
Yeah, super serious one, right?
Yeah, it's pretty serious. Yeah. This dude said my dad was in it.
What?
Soaring Doves sounds like a great movie, though. It sounds like an awesome, like a rite of passage movie or something. And then he told me what it was, and I felt bad.
It's like what they call Samoan pastors or religious leadership. Blessed by God. By God.
By God. Still didn't even know that was a phrase. That is a crazy phrase to say.
By God?
No, Soaring Doves.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you was really saying something. I thought you was just reading off of like what the movie said. So what is Soaring Doves about?
No. Well, so Lupe Falele is translated into Soaring Doves, and it's about it's about like the pastors and their relation to the people, I guess, in terms of like churches and money and some other dark stuff. So yeah. Okay.
All right, go check that out. Pacific Movie Starter Kit. Also, if you need some sports takes, man, head on down to the Polynesian Podcast. Check out Forrest. Check out Lance. Yeah. It looks like he's about to break my. He's about to win. He's about to win the bet. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because he was out for a little bit, but I guess the bet is the bet. We should go off of average per game since that, but I should have stipulated that in the bet, so it's not my fault. I mean, it's not your fault. It's my fault.
You saw the Saints get off to a NFL record start in the first 2 games with Derek Carr just throwing the ball all over the field, and then thought Justin Herbert wasn't going to throw as many passing yards, but now it's definitely
First of all, if he keeps throwing it to Quinn Johnson, I think we'll be all right. Because he ain't gonna catch nothing. He couldn't catch a cold in December in the nursery. Yeah. Like, that dude is terrible. But yeah. So shout out to the Polynesian Podcast. Shout out to Forrest. Shout out to Lance. Go out there and check them out. They got some great sports takes for y'all. But
just scroll down here, wherever you're watching this or listening to this. Yeah. We're on the Polytickin Network. Right? We're on the stream right here.
They on the network. So go ahead and scroll down, scroll up, whichever way you're looking, and check them out. And without further ado, this is the Polytickin Podcast. My brothers, how have you been?
Shit, I've been all right, bro. The same old stuff. But last week I took a day off from my usual routine to go check out a little film shoot. All right. Nice. Shout out to the homie Deuce J, man. Part of 7:15 p.m. I would say Productions. Her own little startup film production company. Right now, she's in the middle of shooting a short film called Chicken, Rice, and Peas. And I wanted to go check it out. I had never been on any kind of professional looking set ever. Never seen monitors, none of that. Never seen actors get to work. Never seen, none of that. So I thought it'd be a cool little experience to go and see it. And I saw it and I was amazed.
Nice.
Like I just I just went there as like a fly on the wall and just to observe everything. And man, just the way everything was run, like there were people with paid positions on this set to do what they need to do to get, this freaking shot. And I was there for a couple of hours and they were only they were working on one scene that took place in the bathroom, and like the work in between is what really makes, a movie and a production. So I don't know. It was just cool to see, you know what I'm saying? And it was fun. And when I got there, that fool Deuce was like, dude, this is Marcus. He does a podcast. He's here to interview everybody. And I was like, dude, no. No, I'm not. No, I'm here to chill. No, I can't interview nobody. I didn't do nothing, and I got to eat fucking 6 tacos. They had a taco man over there, bro.
Let's go.
Well, I'm part of the crew. But all in all, man, it was fun. I want to go and I want to go visit some more whenever she does anything. But I think her next bit of shooting is going to be in Hawaii. So
go to that. Go to that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah, just go.
Just write your name on the list of workers.
Yeah. She said, next time you come out to a shoot, we're going to put you to work. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, it was fun, man. I wanted to talk to y'all about it because I know this dude up here is a rapper. He makes music. He's done music videos. Shout out Deuce 5. And this guy right here has man on the street interviews. We know him. We know what he's done. We know his work. You know what I'm saying? So how, yeah. So how is it? Like when y'all see that, because they had the monitor set up. She had her own monitor to look at what was going on in the bathroom. And I was sitting there just dude, I'm next to Martin Scorsese right now.
Yeah, that's a real director. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she was just chilling in her little gym in her little folding chair. I was just like, cut it, wait. And I was just like, hell yeah. Yeah, it was tight. And they even had a lifeguard. They were shooting a scene in the bathtub, but they needed a lifeguard. People drown in people can drown in bathtub, you know what I'm saying? I get it. All right. But it was just another thing that, it's like unveiling, or removing the veil from shit that I never knew, what takes place on film sets, even something as local and as, I guess, small as Chicken Rice and Peas, which is, by the way, fucking paid out of her pocket. Deuce J.
Oh, damn.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
That's right.
Her livelihood is making film?
I think so, but she's a multi-hyphenate, man. Deuce J got a lot going on. She does a lot. Okay. But yeah, I think this is her principal passion right here. Okay. One of the big ones for her. So
is
shout out to her
rapping
again for the invite.
One of the facets?
Does she?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I know.
No, I'm asking because that sounds like a rap name. When you keep saying Deuce J,
J,
it sounds like Juicy J's little sister or something.
Yeah, I think I think she did music too.
Okay,
she's done music.
Okay.
So
that's
yeah,
dope.
Deuce J. Yeah.
There's when you went in there on set, it was all lights and freaking big ass movie camera.
Yeah.
What was the equipment like?
Not super big. Fuck, I didn't get to go into the bathroom obviously because they were, they're filming and shit, but they looked fucking heavy. There was a dude holding up it looked like 30-40 pounds of equipment on his fucking shoulders and shit. He had to hold something else, and yeah, and you have the key grips. I don't know. Whoever's in charge of the boom mics and shit. Mm-hmm. I didn't see a lot of that. I did just see cool medium-sized cameras that God damn, I didn't know it was on a freaking Spielberg movie, bruh.
Nice.
That's
so
dope.
it was cool to see. So we definitely need I definitely want to go to more, BTS film shoots. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what it's like. And I mean, we're here in LA, why not? And definitely because she's Samoan, bro. I thought that was tight. Bro, I might as well be, standing next to freaking Taika. Taika's not even Samoan.
What and how'd you meet her? Or how y'all know each other?
I think we met at the first time we met was definitely at one of the open mics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At the Sanctuary?
Yep. Shout out to Nina and Nick. I think we officially met over there at one of them. But I think we might have been following each other for a while, or I might have been following her for a while. I can't really remember. Mm-hmm. We've definitely chopped it up since then, and yeah, it's been a cool experience. What?
I've never been on that kind of situation. All of the music videos I've been a part of have been very, guerrilla style, very quick and very, compact. There's never been nothing super extravagant or elaborate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think the most production wise, or like at least when it comes to like the person with the camera directing people to do certain things, I think the most elaborate thing I've been to was the Gangnam Style video that they did with Jay Smooth. Because we was there.
Yeah,
we was there. We was at Trade Winds when they were shooting that. And it was crazy because me and Alex was like inside the hotel lobby when they was shooting that scene where the car pulls up, he hops out and he walks through and there's everybody outside like the the velvet rope waiting outside the club kind of thing, and they're like all cheering and he like walks in like this, like we was in there. They were like, hey, can you guys come stand outside, and like like they was trying to ask us to be part of like a groupie. I was like, all right, no, we cool, we just came here to chill, like we not a part of that. But we seen like everybody was standing there, everybody's chilling, and then they're like, okay, so the car's gonna come. As soon as the car's come, we need y'all to raise your hands and go crazy, whatever. And so seeing them say action and then have everyone jump into character, that was pretty surreal. It was just like, oh shoot, this really how it's done. But outside of that, nah, I've never been a part of a big production like that. So that sounds dope. How about you, Lance? I feel like you've been around more than me.
Man.
I'm trying to think like video production. It's also like in American Samoa, like with Tulanga, Whitcomb Media. He did a lot of like, he would have good equipment, but he would be the cameraman, director, producer for everything. And it was like we'd be at Lions Park, shooting a music video, but it wouldn't be like a big, set, mic, anything like that. Like guerrilla style, like you were saying. And then all the post-production magic that he does, all those effects kind of really make the music videos pop. But yeah, that's cool to just be on scene with creatives, with Islander creatives too. Like that's respect. That's dope to hear about.
Yeah, I'm used to iPhones. I'm used to iPhones and camcorders, iPhones and camcorders. So I'm just like, anything beyond that, I'm just like, dude, I'm standing next to freaking Martin. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. When Five came to Sacramento, he brought a drone, and as I was watching the drone, I was like, this is like a video game, like in real life. Like this, like he was flying over the park, and he was like going here and there, and I was just like, dang, how far could this thing go? He was like, shoot, I don't know, but I don't try to take it too far. And I was like, yeah, that's a good answer. Good answer.
It just dies out a mile away, no connection. You're like, wait, where'd it go? It's gone.
My stupid self would get it caught, like on an airplane or something. Oh, I'm dumb like that.
Wires or something.
That'd be tight.
Unidentified flying aircraft. You have been identified. Please. Yeah.
Pull over now.
Five.
Like,
sorry.
Five
over there like, got us into unrestricted airspace.
That was $1,000 you just got me shot down.
Yeah.
What
about y'all?
I don't really have too much of a catch up, but I'm catching up on my shows. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a catch up. So Silo season 2 is out. I don't know how they releasing the episodes because I've been waiting for the 4th episode to come out and it still ain't out. So I don't know if my website that I use is messed up or if they doing it like Stranger Things where they release 3 at a time and then 2 and then 1 and then I don't know what they're doing. But Silo is out season 2. Silo is have y'all watched Silo before?
No.
It's like a future, apocalyptic future. Everybody lives underground. They live in these silos, and the first episode was about one silo. I mean, the first season was about one lady in a silo, and they think they're the only survivors. And then at the end, she comes out and she finds out there's like 50 different silos, and so now she's like checking out different places or whatever. But it's pretty dope.
Like a wasteland out there or something. Is it safe to be outside now?
No,
it's like modern society.
Like Fallout.
It's like
kind of like
modern
Fallout,
times.
yeah. Yeah,
Fallout.
like
Okay.
futuristic. Yeah, it's like Fallout. It's crazy though. Like it's if you like the government is tricking y'all, and you don't know who to trust, and investigating and murder mystery. That show's pretty good.
Yes.
Okay.
And also Shrinking. It's a comedy
I've
show. It's season 2.
Mhm.
Yeah, you seen
I've heard
Shrinking?
of this one.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Harrison
I've heard
Ford,
of it
Marshall Erickson,
Yeah.
though. Oh yeah.
What's his name? Jason.
Jason
Jason
Segel. Is it
Segel.
Segel?
Segel.
Jason
Seagal, yeah.
Seagal, whatever. Yeah, he's hilarious. Season 2 is out, so they releasing episodes weekly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I'm all right. This is one thing, right? When I start watching shows like this and Sex in the City and these kind of shows, right? I'll be like, bro, Hollywood is over here like over sexualizing everything and making everything, this and that and whatever. And then like now that I'm older, maybe I'm I'm like, maybe I'm just not around it, but maybe everybody is just a bunch of whore bags. Maybe everybody is just sleeping with everybody just casually, and all the shows, it's like every show that I wouldn't watch as a kid, like every show that I probably wouldn't have been entertained by as a kid, but I'm as an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, I like some of these storylines, or I like some of these, relationships amongst characters. They just be loose with the goose, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just, is that a thing? Is this a thing that I'm just not exposed to in real life? Because I might be a prude or whatever. But people just be out and about with it.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely ramped up in recent times where like people are like they're just fucking everywhere. Everybody's fucking. They're on drugs, or everybody's on drugs fucking. Like, it's everywhere. Yeah. So, when we was younger, I don't think there was a lot of shows like that unless you was watching like The Sopranos or The Wire or anything.
Yeah.
Or fucking Sex in the City. Are you gonna start watching Sex in the City?
No, I watched it before, but I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking
Is it
about
called Sex and the City?
And the City.
I have no idea. I think it's in the city, but I thought it was in
Sex and the City. But they're not having. Okay. I mean, they're having a lot of sex in the city. But it's Sex and the City.
So a show like Sex in the City, right? Where it's not. Yeah. I mean, I know the title says otherwise, but it's not centered around it. I feel like shows like Euphoria or something like that. I feel like that you can obviously tell that's a little more, overdone. They throwing doves on it. But
drug fucking, they're over here fucking on drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not counting those kind of series because it's like, okay, that's already, it's kids ain't just on drugs all the time anyways. But a show like Sex in the City where it's like so casual, like everything is grounded in realism, and like it's like Seinfeld or something. It feels like Seinfeld and all that, but they just ramp up the sex scene parts. And I'm like, is it because it's HBO, or is it because I'm just not around the whole bag circles where everybody just loose with the goose?
Maybe because we looked at sex differently when we were younger, but now that we're older, now we know that sex is like just a regular thing now as an adult, especially in like a healthy relationship. So now we don't look at sex as like this like fucking racy thing. It's like, oh yeah, it's just no, I'm just having sex now.
No, I still feel it though.
It's like, then you're a prude, man.
I'll be like, bruh. I mean, like, bro, what's it? For real, the gardener, for real, the mailman, for real, the milkman, for real.
Dude,
this is the third time this episode.
When I watch TV, I'm just like, bro, I'm sure that's happened. I wouldn't put past anything. I'm just like, that probably happened.
See, I'm like halfway. I'm like, now that I'm older, and then also the knowing that the people I went to in high school and junior high are adults now, and knowing they was fast as hell back in the day, I'm like, okay, that could probably be so-and-so from back in the day. But then I'm like, but I ain't had this many so-and-sos in my like, I didn't know this. And so like halfway, I'm like, I can see it. But the other half, I'm just like, are they throwing dubs on it, or is it just people just out here just or is it just they just everybody just over here just sexually gallivanting, just free?
Oh no, like what you said, it's definitely when we were younger, it was like a lot more buttoned up. It definitely what we were consuming, and maybe even overall less like sex in media. But like Marcia said, true? Now that I don't know, right? We grew up and we watched Power Rangers and stuff, right? So
they was doing it on there. A lot.
We probably shouldn't have been watching WWF as like 9-year-olds, but I mean, that's what we were doing.
I feel
and every time Trish Stratus came up, or the Ho Train with the Dogfather, or puppies, or freaking Mae Young having a baby with Mark Henry, all that stuff is plot device. Is sex sells. Like, even saying the word sex feels dirty, even today, as a 35-year-old. But it sells. It is interesting to people. People are going to be like, oh, this is scandalous. Let me watch. Let me tune in. Then you can't find this anywhere else. But then you have the ones that are like, everybody's crossing over with this person, that person. There's a love triangle here, a love square there. These people are actually related. Whatever is happening, like, it's all... I think it's plot device. It's just to sell their show. Just to make us want to tune in.
I will never forgive the WWF. I will never forgive them.
Why? What they do?
I seen Luna's party hats because of the WWF.
Wait, Luna's party?
Yes. I'll never forgive the WWF for doing that. All right. We wanted to see Terry Reynolds, but it's dead. Luna. All right. Where was Sable at? Nowhere to be found.
You gotta give you a bad guy to compare.
Luna, 87-year-old was on that turnbuckle going crazy.
Terry Reynolds is freaking.
Yeah. Where's Sable at,
Let's go.
Save the
Where's
day.
Sable at?
Save the day.
God, bring Sable out.
I'd have been cool with China, just not Luna.
Yeah,
I'll never forgive them, man. I'll never, ever.
So should we include the WWF like in all of that? I thought we were talking about straight TV shows, scripted TV. Oh, I guess wrestling scripted TV show, but it's fucking.
You just added
I guess a serialized show.
Still,
ain't nobody talking about breakfast right now, Marcus. We're talking about sex.
Oh damn! Just saying.
People like listen to this on their way to drop their kids off in the morning.
Yeah, put them headphones in. Put that.
You can skip to this part. Yeah, you can skip to this part.
Put that Peppa Pig on right now. All right. Yeah, so yeah, man, let's get to it. Episode 106. Oh wait, Lance wanted to announce that he had
I very look forward to hopping on and chopping it up with you guys. I don't get to like hang out with a lot of Samoans in my day-to-day life. So this is definitely a up time for me. But it's been a tough week.
Oh, okay.
It's been a tough week personally. Definitely very busy and all that, but I'm gonna save this for the Patreon. We can talk about this tomorrow behind a paywall.
We about to end the episode just so we can talk. All right, John, that was episode 106, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
For real, yeah, we need to talk to Lance real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, that's it's just it feels really personal, and I'd like to talk to you guys about it, but we can do that in front of the patrons. And
all right, we don't have
keep this one nice and happy.
We don't have to do it in front of the patrons. We can do it after this episode, brother.
Yeah, man.
Just to let you know, throw it out there.
Thank you.
That's an option,
you guys.
Yeah, we don't want to exploit your life for patron members. We do that to Marcus enough.
And I do that to me enough.
I reveal enough
bro.
In there. Like we'll be all right. So
yeah,
just to let you know, because you got a little serious right there. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that was cereal, bro.
Drew Afualo.
So the next one is
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Yeah, we can talk about it.
All right, but if you do it on Patreon, hey man, patreon.com/Polytickin Podcast. Come on down there.
Wow,
check us out.
Wow,
you might get a bomb dropped on top of your head. You might get nothing though. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. That's the thing about us. It's like the casino.
That's the thing.
Yeah. You might win 50 cents. You might win 50 million. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So appreciate you, Lance. And thank you for your service. I don't know if that makes you feel better, but I hope it does.
Thank you, Lance. We appreciate you, Lance.
Yeah. Thank you,
Come on.
So yeah, Drew Afualo. Big conversations being had all over the Twitter sphere, all over the TikTok sphere. I don't know if it made it to Facebook. I feel like Facebook is, if it's not concerned with racial politics or religion, it's not on Facebook.
Yeah,
so
Facebook is the insane asylum at this point, bro. But you're just yelling over there.
Kind of, sorta. Drew Afualo has caused quite the disturbance in the force. So Lance, maybe you can, because I just don't want to put the video out there. Yeah. So maybe you can press play and then share your screen and then hide that screen, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, give me a second.
Just like
what else? What is she talking about exactly here?
So in the beginning of the, are we gonna play the whole clip? I can summarize the whole clip.
Yeah, I got about 90 seconds here of like talking about the gatekeeping and then her talking about Samoan language.
Okay. So in the beginning of the clip, it touches on the lady who was faumuing at the Moana premiere. So Drew is saying, actually, what? That's what they're talking about. Let's just let it play out, because I feel like she does a good job at talking about what she's talking about.
I'm like, what are you even seeing on my screen right now?
Your desktop.
You got a
a
whole lot. You got a whole lot on that desktop.
I see why you overwhelmed. You need to,
all the safety codes on there, bro. Golly, bro.
What is that? Adobe Image? What is that? AI?
Let's go.
Let me know if you guys can hear this, okay?
The fuck we feel about people taking shit from us.
But
I'm also annoyed about Polynesian people saying that they're giving her a pass. I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care. Yeah. Maybe you should be gatekeeping more. Maybe we should be more protective of the shit that we share. Maybe we should be more fucking protective of that shit. And also, Samoan language, Samoan tatau, Samoan lineage, genealogy, all that shit is dying. Did you guys know that? It's considered a third, what do you call it? Samoan language is considered a dying language because there's not many more people alive who can read it, write it, and speak it. So, like, fucking spare me if I don't like when white people try to jump in the shit and be like, well, don't you want people to know? Do you know anything else other than tribal and Moana? No? Eat my dick. No, you're not allowed to.
First off, eat my dick is a hilarious way to end that. Go ahead. Just need to say that because that's fucking hilarious. No? Then eat my dick. Let's go. Talk about
it. So her initial argument about the gatekeeping and all that, as Marcus pointed out, pre-production, I do agree with that. I feel like I said this before, but I feel like right now is the perfect time to start establishing boundaries when it comes to culture, especially our culture, because we're not quite at the pinnacle. We're not quite, in the spotlight in America, at least. And so this is the proper time to really let people know, hey, this is okay, or hey, this isn't okay. I feel like in New Zealand and Australia, it's a little more prominent. So they deal with more of the appropriation because it's such a big deal out there. Like they hold a lot of real estate in terms of popularity, in terms of, celebrity, all of those things. Like they're a lot more established, and there's a lot more of them. But for us in the States, let's let them know what's okay. Let's let them know what's not okay. Let's establish these, because if you let it go, and you look at everything as, oh my God, they're showing us love, or they're shedding light on our culture, that's great. The more you do that, the more people think they can, oh, this is okay, or this is okay to join in, or this is okay to do, and whatever. How do y'all feel about that specific part of her argument, at least?
About Samoan language and culture dying, or being a dying language?
No. The idea of gatekeeping.
Oh, the gatekeeping
culture. Yeah.
It feels like we always wanted to like share and at least be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I've always been like, try to show your Samoan. It's maybe not actually actualizing that in my real life, but be proud to be Samoan and show it off and share it. And like, educate these people that we're here and we're more than like a mythical caricature, and that we're people. Like, but then not knowing what they're going to do with that information or with that culture. Like, are they going to take it and try to appropriate, or are they going to take it and actually handle it with care the way it should? Or are they going to be foul-mooing during evening prayer? Are they going to be just throw a chihu out in the morning with their coffee? Like, do we have to worry about how our culture is going to be taken and replicated, maybe incorrectly? Like,
how should white people, or how should other people be sensitive about the culture, as you said? Like, how should we, like how should we do that? No, anybody. Like, I'm just throwing the question out there because I'm trying to piggyback off of Lance. It's like, how do you handle it with care, as you said? Like, how do other races handle these things with care?
I think first off, just establishing what's for public consumption and what's for
What's
those
for us
from the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big deal because, I've seen pictures and people who aren't Pacific Islander at all, giving tribals in the middle of America just because they and the thing is, it's dope. Like, it don't look bad. Well, sometimes it don't look bad. Most times it do. But it's just like, hey, I seen this on a picture. I seen this on a UFC fighter. Or I seen this on this. Can you do this? And they just replicate it. And, like, so in that sense, just letting people know what's for public consumption and what's for, the tribal stuff, maybe, I don't know the specifics of it, but maybe we could say like, oh yeah, as long as you understand what you're doing and where it's coming from, it's okay to get that. But, for sure, the Malu is definitely off limit. Like even something as simple as that. I know we take it for granted because we already know that and it's ingrained in us. But the reason why is because people set those boundaries way before us, and they keep upholding these values and upholding these boundaries, like, and that's why it's so natural to us. But when it comes to other things like faumu, or like singing, or like dancing is a big one in Hawaii, because you got a lot of people who are teaching hula classes or teaching dances that are not of the culture, that haven't studied under actual people who knowledge holders. Yeah, and like they're just teaching it because they're all
tourist money.
And it's people who say they appreciate the culture, but then they turn around and they say, oh, well, out here there's not a lot of people in Iowa who know how to do this, and so we watched videos about Hawaiian dancing, hula dancing, and then we teach these classes just to spread the culture. But that's where we would step in and be like, actually, that's not okay. If you want an apprenticeship, come here and spend your money here and come do this, and then you'll be ordained. Or I don't know exactly. I don't know the specifics, but these are just examples.
Invest in those hula classes, those hula schools you was watching. Invest in them.
Yeah, for real. And so those are like certain examples of I feel like the patent stuff is things that we already have a boundary for and we respect and we uphold. But then also things like hula, where we're not dancers, so we don't think about it. But those are aspects of the culture that we could be like, no, these boundaries need to be set just right here. And language too. Language is a big one as well.
Okay, so I was like we've talked about this before, right? Younger me would have been cool with seeing other people talk about it because there's so little of us in like the mainstream media to talk about these things. So anybody talking about it would get me like, oh hell yeah, we're being talked about. But now that as I get older and with the show now, like I'm learning more that like visibility is more than just visibility. Like there's more to it than this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a nuanced. There's nuanced. The big buzzword, nuanced take with visibility for other Pacific Islanders or just other cultures in general. So there's a lot of racist stuff going on in there, undertones. There's a lot of colonization stuff going on, a lot of history that a lot of people just aren't aware of, that even with their best intentions, it just doesn't matter without the knowledge of that and why what they're doing is not okay. So it's slippery, man. It's a slippery slope, brother. But Yeah, I agree on establishing boundaries to let
Mhm.
people know that like these are the boundaries that we was taught when we were younger. So let me let y'all know what it is,
Yeah.
and what y'all are doing are super cornball cringe. But that's okay. But you just have to know why it is,
Yeah,
buddy.
and another thing you just said it, which makes sense. These are boundaries that we learned as kids, right? I feel like also since we're just because we're Pacific Islanders, that doesn't give us the authority to speak on all aspects of it because like I said, like with hula or with tattoos or all of these things, like I wasn't raised knowing these things. I feel like we have to defer to the specialists or defer to the professionals or the experts and not feel like just because I'm Samoan, I should have a say on all things Samoan. You know what I'm saying? And I think the second half of this uh is a testament to why that is. In the second half of this clip, Drew said that the Samoan language is dying. And I don't know where she got her stats from, but she probably posted them if she said it like that. But she said the Samoan language is dying. There's not a lot of people out there that can read or write or speak it. And Twitter Twitter was in a in a frenzy over this. So many people came out to correct her. So many people. Shout out to Kiana Fuenga, who is like, if y'all don't follow her on TikTok, y'all need to go follow her. She always drops. She dropping a lot of gems. She always giving her insight on Pacific everything Pacific related, in a very easily digestible way. Like she's super down to earth, super everything. Like every time I have an issue with something or I see something, I'll go see if she spoke on it because she gives it to me in a way where like, understand, like tell me as if I was in kindergarten type thing. So shout out to Kiana. She had a back and forth with Drew, and she basically was like, this is not true. And Samoan language is not dying. Um Lance, when I posted this, you felt a certain way, and I said, yeah, we finna argue. So let's get to it real quick, Lance. How did you feel about that second half?
When she says, did you know Samoan is a dying language and stuff like that? That was, I mean, surprising. But to me, it sounded like it checks out. Like outside of the islands where it's used every day, as far as like a globally spoken language, definitely never even got to that far as far as Samoan. But I think Americanized or like spread out the way that we're leaving the islands, it's like on the decline. Like it's not used as much on the day to day for me, and for people across probably America and other countries. So when she says it's a dying language, less people are able to read, write, and speak it. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, I don't speak Samoan like on the day to day, other than a couple words to like my daughter. So I'm definitely not doing my part in keeping it alive and well written. Need to do better about that. But I can see what she's saying.
Mm.
What about you?
There's a lot of people brought up a lot of points. Shout out to Z, who was the only person from New Zealand who was like kind of on our side a little bit. Everybody from New Zealand was saying, just because you Samoans in the States don't speak it doesn't mean that your experience counts for everybody. New
Mm,
Zealand, they have the most Samoan speakers in the world, and Western Samoa and American Samoa, the official language is Samoa, as opposed to other countries where the language is actually like Hawaiian language. Their official language is English in Hawaii, as opposed to Samoa and American Samoa, where the official language is Samoan. Um, the language is alive and well in other parts of the world. In America, it's a little harder for us to establish these hubs of just Samoan speakers just being together. And you could, less densely populated areas of Samoan people, and also when you do have it, it's not like y'all are all friends. Shout out to SoCal, but the more Samoans there, it doesn't mean that there's a big community there. Sometimes there's other conflicting issues. Z was pointing out, from people from New Zealand and Australia who was like basically talking down on us again, of course, how they do. Saying like, they take for granted the privilege that they have of having so many people together on one accord that we don't have. But at the same sense, the idea of just because we Samoan, it doesn't give us the authority to speak on these things. Because if you actually look at the numbers, in terms of all Pacific Islands, Samoans are the most. I think Tongans percentage wise per capita have more language speakers than us. But outside of that, we're like the second. We're like the top three most language speakers per capita. So our language is not close to being dead. Her bringing up the fact that we don't speak as many people as Japanese, like she said, what she say? She said other languages.
She said there's not as many people out there speaking Samoan as there are speaking Spanish and Japanese. The Samoan language isn't on Duolingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the stupidest argument in the world, I feel, because if you look at the population of Samoan people compared to Japanese people, or you said Spanish?
Vast. Spanish.
Yeah. Like they, like we're a percentage compared to them. Like we're not even one, whatever. I don't know the exact numbers, but yeah, of course there's going to be more Japanese people speaking Japanese, and of course there's going to be more Spanish speakers because Spain took over hella places and they spread their culture around. So I don't think she had a good argument in that. I don't think she had a good argument, period. I think we as Samoans in the States, we definitely don't see it as much. But the fact that we don't see it where we're from doesn't mean that it's not true everywhere else. And I think we need to expand our horizons a little bit, especially her, somebody who has such a big and vast platform, somebody who has that much influence over people that's not from our culture. Like this, this clip is going to be a lot of people's only exposure to Samoan language and where it's at. And so I feel like, people in her corner or her, I feel like, and even seeing her argue on TikTok, like going back and forth with Kiana, like even seeing her do that, it's like people are actually telling you otherwise. And it's easy to Google. I Googled it and it's, Kiana and them wasn't lying, but she kept going back and forth. And I feel like you gotta have the right people in your corner to tell you, like, hey, let's ease up on this a little bit, or hey, actually, you might want to rephrase that or whatever.
They probably didn't know, not just to give them a cop out, but they probably just didn't know, and they're filming a podcast, so they're just, all right, well, it's her account, she's in charge of it, so just let her, they just probably didn't know what they knew or what they were talking about. So still, be that as it may,
even that back and forth though between Kiana and Drew, like I know Drew was like putting out trying to put out evidence for her take, and Kiana was also rebutting with her evidence. I thought that was like as far as like TikTok back and forth, super respectful and
pretty tame, right? Yeah.
It was like, yo, I understand what you're saying. I think it's wrong. This is why. And then Drew would respond, I think that's wrong. This is why. And then they went back and forth with a difference of opinions, but at the end they were like, nice, I agree with you in that part, and we can keep going on with our day. Big fans of each other. So that was dope.
That's still a plus.
Yeah,
that's a plus then. It's a plus.
Yeah. But it did feel like Drew like dug in her heels, like she has to do when she's, in the comment section. There's like her content by just its origin and what she's about is a lot of like fighting and responding with people.
It's confrontational,
Yeah. So it was cool to see that, even that back and forth end in a good way where they kind of learned more. I looked it up too. Samoan not on the list of dying languages. I think, not a dead language, but a dying language, like one in decline, right? That doesn't mean like.
Wait, there's a list of that? There's a list of those?
I think you can like Wikipedia or Google like a list of endangered languages. And most of them are like small places in remote, like Rapa Nui, like the certain dialects or language of certain islands that I recognize, but I did not see Samoa. So hopefully, it can be not just a just stagnant, but grow. And if we're going to grow the ability for us to talk in Samoan, we got to do it more. To write in Samoan, I sucked at that. There's Samoan class in high school. I barely passed that. And that's because I was copying off a bunch of people. But speaking, reading, writing, that's I think most of it was from like my grandma and reading Samoan Bible. But are we going to figure out ways to make that change and make that positive, like bring up Samoan language?
I mean, if we could probably like
establish. I'm asking us three.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
If you can establish those kind of hubs that Seth was talking about that we lack here in the U.S., then we have a chance. Yeah, I think that's probably the first step. Establish hubs of like language or like speaking classes, courses. I was Googling it. I seen it on my phone. There's a couple places here in the U.S. that offers Samoan language courses, but one of them's in Manoa. I think there's another one here in like stateside, but
in San Francisco. Shout out to Reno Anoa'i and his mom, who I don't know if she's a council member or board member. I know she's
should have been
politician. Yeah, and I know their family does a lot in San Francisco that deals with culture and deals with cultivating a safe space. So
there you go.
And my fault, Reno. I don't know exactly what y'all do, and maybe I should get more acquainted. Because I don't know. I know that they teach Samoan language class. I know that they rallied and they've been talking about that for a long time. I know they do a lot of cultural and enlightening and enrichment things in San Francisco. But I don't know what like organizations they deal with exactly, or organizations they're a part of exactly. But shout out to Reno. Super vocal during the political season. My guy, the only blue team member on the timeline with me, going back and forth. So shout out to him. Shout out to the language class in Frisco, and shout out to his mom, man. Next year or 2 years. Whatever.
San Francisco Public Schools started the Samoa Initiative.
Here we go.
In 2020, and it's a pre-K class that offers like Samoan indigenous practices, it says.
That's tight. Yeah, see, definitely more hubs like that then to get a start, because there's a lot of stuff this is going on, especially in Southern California with other with other Samoans and stuff, so it's kind of hard, and I hope NZ recognizes that, Yeah.
What do you think, Marcus?
Who cares?
Is Samoan dying?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think it's dying. It's just a lot. It's hella concentrated over there on the other side. Over there in New Zealand, Australia. It just feels like it's dying out here in the U.S. because there's not a lot of people who meet those three criteria besides our family: read, write, and speak. Yeah. So no, I disagree with Drew also, man. I don't think it's dying. We could definitely take the time to learn it. We can just go to San Francisco and get on with these courses with Reno and them. There's that dude teaching. There's that dude who sells courses too. Forget his name. Amuuso.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of people out here for that. So no, I don't think it's dying, man. I just think, but awareness of it is growing. So I think there's more people willing to start these so-called hubs of like Polynesian focused, things, knowledge and stuff. So no, I think it's gonna be on the rise, bro. Give it like 50 or 100 years though.
It's like when immigrant parents go to a new country and they're like, learn this country stuff. We have to assimilate, learn English, learn the customs, right? Be American. And then generations later, we're like, but we're not American, okay? We're not just American. We're Samoan. We need to have our culture and more. It seems like today, more willing to stand up, stand out, and not just kind of, too low and be back in the back, keeping your head down. Like, be seen. Like you're worthy of being seen, and it's also going to help other people, and it's just like helping each other up more, just grabbing hands, picking people up to be better. I have a problem with the "Can I Get a Chihu" song in Moana 2.
Say it. Come on, talk about it.
it's about to start an avalanche of appropriational Chihus. Like, that white lady at the premiere is just the tip of the iceberg. This man is asking people, can you get a Chihu? Like, people are about to take that and run with it, and they're going to be like, The Rock told me to. I needed maybe to protect that Chihu a little bit more than to just offer it out and ask people to frickin' call our calls like that.
Is there something wrong? Is there something wrong with non-Pacific Islanders doing Chihu?
So what's the context with a Chihu, right? To answer that, why is it that we Chihu? It's to celebrate. Was there other stuff to it? Because
it's a feeling. It's a primal. No, it's a urge.
When you accidentally touch a hot stove, you know.
Yeah.
So I think this is important. They had the king or somebody went to Samoa the other.
Oh yeah, King of England.
Oh yeah.
With Samoa, and they gave him some title, and people were super upset, saying, "Oh, how can y'all do this?"
Saily King Charles.
Yeah, and then come to find out that culturally and historically, that's a thing, to give people certain titles that are just for esteemed guests that aren't Samoan. Like, they've done this for years, like for centuries, or no, decades at least. And I think the fact that we don't know our culture that well is the reason why we get this outrage, because we don't understand what's sacred and what's actually historically correct. A lot of people, you know, shout out to Sons of Savai, I think that's their name, or Savai Boys, because they spoke on that.
Savai Boys.
They spoke on that. Shout out to Tony. And it's like you guys get upset over something, and you guys get protective over something that you don't really know about. And so for anybody who's getting upset about the Chihu, or anybody getting upset about certain things being appropriated, I feel like we can't get mad until we actually know about the context of it. That's why I'm saying, like, is it bad for them to do that? Like, is it bad for a non-Pacific Islander to Chihu? Is that?
I was walking in to get like stuffing last week for turkey, like into the Albertsons. It's not Albertsons, it's called Safeway now. This guy stops me and he's like, "Are you an Islander?" I'm like, God damn, Moana over here making these guys feel super comfortable. He's like, "I lived in Hawaii. You look like some people I saw over there," kind of like, and it's just a super awkward conversation. I feel like we're gonna get so much more of those, which is kind of like the monkey's paw. We want to be seen more, but now it's gonna be like, oh, you know, person from that movie I watched. That's like, because that's their only education of it. Do you know anything else besides tribal and Moana? No? Eat my dick. Like, that's like, go learn something before just stopping me. It's like, oh yeah, I've also lived in Hawaii. I was like,
yeah, bro. Yeah. That's what we asked for, right? Like, we want to be seen more, but this we run the risk of that, right? Random Hawaiians coming up to us and being like, "Hey, you look like my friend from Hawaii. When I was over there on base in the military." Cool. Yeah, right. Yeah, I told the story about at work, right, where my coworkers, her only frame of reference is, you know, it was Moana, the first one, right? So so he comes up to me and tells me about, you know, my daughter loves Moana. So yeah, bro. Yeah, this is what we wanted. We wanted more people to talk to us about our culture. Their only frame of reference is freaking Moana and the Chihu song, bro. Yeah, that's it.
I feel like
so. I don't know how else to approach it besides being like, yes, I am Samoan. Yes, that is also me. I am Maui. Just lean into it.
Lean into it, bro. Yeah. I have demigod powers. Go grab me a sandwich.
Yeah, I'll tell you Moana 3 right now, because I wrote it, man. Me and two of the homies wrote it on our podcast, bro. It's really good.
I don't see why people get upset at this. Like, at people recognizing you or recognizing, you know, certain things. I think I'm only saying this because I've been on the other end of that. and I've seen like people, and I'm just like, oh yeah, so you this, what about this? It's more, well,
It
for
just
most
feels like
people,
stereotypes at that point. For me, that's why. It just
I
felt
think
like a stereotype.
I feel like it's
and I felt kind of hurt.
I feel like
That's
it's
the only thing you know about us. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but what do y'all like? I feel like it's a point of entry. I feel like it's a point of entry for a lot of people to break down the barrier, to break the ice, and to say,
I see
hey,
that now.
You know, like to say, like, hey,
then I was mad.
Hey, I see you. You know, like a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Not everybody has good intentions, or not everybody is self-aware when they do these things. But I feel like more often than not, you know, when you see somebody, especially with a culture that isn't widespread, like, you know, you see something like, damn, never mind, I don't want to go there because I might sound hella racist. But
there it is. There it is. There it fucking is.
No, I was gonna say,
you
when
just
we
hit
see
it on the head.
when we see a movie like Turning Red that centers around Chinese Chinese characters, we don't see people that are presumably Chinese and say anything because their culture is out there. There's nothing out there that's new to us. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to single out a culture, but like we generally are. Everybody knows who Chinese people are, where they come from, somewhat of their culture. They speak Mandarin, or most of them speak that language. Not a lot of people know about Hmong people, right? So when Gran Torino came out, that was a big deal. Like, a lot of Hmong people didn't like it because, you know, some of the cultural differences or whatever. But more often than not, that was the thing that people were just like, "Are you Hmong?" Like, just trying to see, because it was a new aspect of, and I guess there's somewhat Chinese people, but not really. So yeah, like this instance is like when Gran Torino came out, where people are exposed to this new group of people. That's what I mean by I don't think it's anything bad. And the hesitance was just because I didn't know who to single out. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think
among a long list of people I could single out right now.
Well, yeah, I was
stereotypes.
Yeah, because you got white, you got African American, like, you know, they're the top two. But yeah, Chinese people, Japanese people, you know, we don't see like a movie like, if Mulan came out with the live action film, we didn't see that, and then it didn't become like a spectacle where you were just like, oh my god, are you know, it's like we're familiar with them. They've been in the spotlight, they've been at the top, and Samoan people, or not Samoan, but Pacific Islanders, we're very new to this spotlight, you know. So I don't see nothing wrong with people coming up and starting that conversation. I feel like for people to expect a stranger to be well read on our culture the first instance that they meet us, I feel like that's a little unfair, you know.
Yeah. Or do we just have to like be ready to represent at all times? We have to know the stories, know the way the titles work, know the way Tatao works.
No,
longitude, latitude. Sorry,
longitude,
language, coordinates. No, save it.
I don't think we have to be some Samoan historian to speak to people about our culture. I think, you know, giving our insight on things, and you know, another thing too, I feel like we devalue and belittle how much we know of the culture, because we compare it to other people in the culture. Like, we're like, oh shoot, I got cousins who I'm like, oh yeah, they hella know Fasha more, they hella do all this, I don't know too much. But then when I speak to people, especially out here, about the culture, Moana came out, I'm getting a lot of conversations about this and that. Bro, I'm like a historian compared to these guys. Like, I'm telling them about stuff that we just learned at ASCC, or that we just seen around the island, and they're just amazed because they've never even heard of it. The fact that I'm telling them I lived on an island with just 70,000 or 65,000 people, they were tripping out at the how small it is out there, how small the population is. So like, we got to stop devaluing how much we know of the culture, because people who come in and start those conversations, they don't know a thing. And that's a great time for us to be like, yeah, this is where I'm from. This is what I used to do. I used to work at a vocational rehab center for $4.90 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went to church twice a day. You know, like all of these things, that's going to church twice a day is nothing big to y'all. some of my friends who never went to church as a kid, they tripping that we used to go in the morning and take a break and then go at night. They like, that's crazy to me that people do that when we did it as a norm. So man, stop belittling.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Last week I had to let somebody know like the difference between American Samoa and Samoa.
There you go.
And then we got into like a whole 30-minute talk about it, and I was just like, dude, that's it. That's it. I'm out of my depth now, bro. You've exhausted my knowledge, but now we just had a great conversation. But it was So no, I understand. It's just always funny when like a stranger comes up to me like, dude, my children love Moana, dude. I'm just like, all right, cool. Like now I literally just lean into it. Like,
give me my money then.
Cool. Yeah.
How much money do you
struggle
owe me?
against colonialism, motherfucker? How about that if you love Moana so much? No, I'm just kidding.
You guys remember Brian Scalabrine?
Yeah.
That name sounds familiar. I don't know.
Celtics center. Yeah, okay, Big Red. Yeah. He was playing ball against some kids, and they were like, man, you can't beat LeBron. You're not good. He's like, I can't beat LeBron, but I'm LeBron to you. That's like the level of like,
that's real.
We have the knowledge, even though we don't feel like we're up there and like some of the people that are really educated and like telling things, doing conferences, explaining everything, Brianna Fruin, like Amoso, whatever. But we still do have a lot of knowledge that we can share correctly, like and safely. Like just remember there's a certain way to share and do good with that. But yeah, we're LeBrons. We're LeBrons to them.
Yeah. We're LeBrons to these white people.
Hell yeah. I'm Brian Scalabrine. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Lance
was a baller, bro.
Lance, can we get some Moana 2 box office numbers?
My goodness. That's another thing, right? Because looking at these numbers, there's going to be so many people that are watching this, have consumed it, and are going to have questions. Moana 2, where I'm in the wrong folder, sorry. Box office records, the original Moana 3-day opening, the original in 2016 was $56 million. That's over the first 3 days. I want you to guess how much money this made in its first 3 days for Moana 2. 56 million was the original Moana.
200 million.
250 million.
Sorry, bring that down. $139 million over the first 3 days.
Still doubled.
Still,
I won. The first 3 days. That is the 38th highest 3-day opening of all time, of all movies, all time, in the top 40. More than Frozen 2, more than Wicked made in their first 3 days. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse made in its first 3 days. More than the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. More than Guardians of the Galaxy 3. More than Deadpool 1 and 2. Deadpool versus Wolverine, I think, is 7th all time. More than Toy Story 3. More than Toy Story 4. So definitely a big pop. Pre-sales set records. It's going to be Disney Animation's third or fourth $1 billion franchise. The only other ones are Frozen, Wreck-It Ralph, and Zootopia. Once Zootopia 2 comes out this year. Zootopia 1 made $1 billion by itself. Wreck-It Ralph and then Ralph Breaks the Internet combined made over $1 billion. And then also you have the Pixar $1 billion franchises, Toy Story, Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Cars, Inside Out, and Monsters, Inc. So Moana already one of the top streamed movies in Disney history, Disney Plus, and now it's about to kind of set itself as a cornerstone, really, and on the level of all these other names that are definitely recognizable. According to comicbook.com, the previous record holder for highest 5-day opening was Super Mario Brothers with 205 million. Moana 2 broke that with 224 million. And Super Mario went on to make $1.36 billion. So that's what we can expect Moana to surpass. Over 1.4 billion. That's crazy for a movie. The other 2024 $1 billion movies were Deadpool versus Wolverine, Inside Out 2, and Despicable Me 4 almost made it, but Moana is definitely going to push for those totals. It's record breaking. So many people are seeing it. So many people have already seen it and will see it. So definitely a success for the directors, for Ali, for Uncle Rock. And we know it's going to be, spoiler alert, more Moana movies are coming because the story, the way it's set up. So yeah, a lot of money being made here too. And they were going to make this a TV show for Disney Plus and give it away for free. But now they've like really pushed itself up.
Now we know.
Yeah. So
now we know what we have.
Yeah, exactly. They know they found a hit, a franchise, a superhero character, along with her demigod sidekick. That's gonna freaking grow over the years. So this is kind of just the beginning.
I think in terms of Disney movies, I know Disney has the Disney factor and everything, and they mostly hit home runs. But I feel like this is an exceptional. This is exceptional even for Disney standards, and I think it's just a testament to like how dope our people are and how dope our stories are. And I feel like KT had quite a take, and we're gonna talk about the take as well because it just happened, and Marcus heard half of it, and he's riled up. And so wait, did anybody else have anything else to say about the numbers? I mean, the numbers is the numbers. I don't know. It's crazy.
The numbers is the numbers. That's all I got to say. I'm just copying what you just said 5 seconds ago. The numbers is the numbers.
Who's getting the most money off of this? It's going to the studio, right? But like, do Moana and Maui get like residuals from this? Like the way that this thing is.
Uncle Dwayne asked for half.
What?
Uncle Dwayne asked for half. No, I don't know.
Oh, bro! I was like, oh man. That's the only reason why. Only let you guys get in here. You're the new Maui.
For real, get your ass in here.
So for shout out to KT from For Your Reference Podcast. She posted up on her story, and it was quite fired up. It was gassed up. So Lance, can you read us her take on Moana 2?
Yeah, shout out to KT For Your Reference Podcast, the other brown film critic on IG. They were on the red carpet for this, and she finally got a chance to watch it. And this is her take. Quote, like all monarchies, if this is your proverbial king, then keep that over there and leave me out of it. I didn't expect this franchise, Peep Game for what it is, to be the bastion of our stories and experiences, but man, why are our people waving the banner as if it is? As a kid's movie, it does what it does, but for our big age, this ain't it. Cultural qualms aside, there were no stakes and our protagonist wasn't tested, so arcs and payoffs weren't satisfying. Not to mention how anti-blackness is ever present. You can blame Hollywood, but I promise you that call been coming from the house. Embarrassing. End quote. Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus is riled up. Let's go, Marcus.
Well, because I didn't hear the rest of that, but now I'm just like, I might have to. Oh, KT, big dog. I might have to disagree with you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely the anti-blackness part. I don't know. I felt like they integrated that seamlessly. You know, I felt like they did it sensitively as well. You know what I'm saying? Like they introduced the other cultures at the end pretty well.
Oh no, that's not what that was in reference to.
What was in reference to?
That was in reference to the main bad guy being seemingly darker skinned.
Nalo. Yeah. No, I know. That's what I'm talking about. I thought they did pretty well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it wasn't just him.
Yeah, I thought you meant the people that she connected with.
It's them too. That was saying that they did a pretty good job in introducing. Mm-hmm. And I think having all of the way he is as like the main villain of the entire thing, that's pretty. I think that's pretty cool. I didn't see anything culturally insensitive about that at all. But then again, I don't know what culture he's supposed to be representing, you know? I mean, I'm sure it's obvious, but still, I felt like it was done pretty well.
Is he Samoan?
No. I don't know. I think,
we're not claiming this one.
But I don't think, no, it's not even that, but I don't think so. I think he is definitely from Africa, some kind of African deity.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
No, I think he's Micronesian or Melanesian. He's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, okay. I thought because I'm still driving with my theory of the world, so I'm thinking if they're gonna unite different deities from different cultures, that's what I thought.
He's like
but yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah,
I'd be cool if Ngalo ends up being like the Thanos is like general instead of actually Thanos. I know they had him on the Thanos chair in the end credit there, but you could say that there weren't a lot of dark-skinned people in this movie until the mega bad guy shows up at the end, and he's definitely dark-skinned. I mean, you could say that about, you're going to position the dark person as the ultimate evil. But yeah, I didn't recognize a lot of darker skin tones when I watched it in theaters. Definitely want to rewatch it. Any other parts about KT's review?
The monarchy. What were you gonna say?
I remember growing up and having this book of Polynesian stories. Cena and the Eel, freaking Turtle and the Shark. Maybe not Turtle and the Shark, but and there were proverbs and stuff. And it was one of my favorite books. It was like learning these stories like of our culture. They were just cool stories, with some people that kind of I felt like some brown people, but I don't think we share like those stories as much anymore. Or maybe I just lost that book and haven't seen it in 25 years. So now I'm like, it doesn't exist. But I mean, do you guys like know the stories and the stuff? Like, I definitely shouldn't count on Disney's, machine to tell us, our stories and to pull from our stories and reference them. We should know ours. So I agree with that, right? We shouldn't have Disney as the ultimate Samoa. This is what Samoa is, guys. What you see on Moana, right? Because even though a lot of it is pulled from our cultures, it's not, specifically just what we can share. So I don't know. Do you guys know a bunch of legends and stuff like that?
No, just the story with the twins. I think they were twins. This is when Samoa was held hostage by Tongans, and then they went and assassinated the leader and stuff and freed Samoa or something. But
is that a real story?
I don't know. That was just one of the ones that I was told. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't really know confirmed legends really, but I mean, still, like I don't know. I lost my point. I forgot.
Bam.
I don't know. I don't know if we're the right people to be speaking of. I mean, Lance, you probably know more than we do, just because where we was raised. I know the turtle and the shark and the story of was it the sisters that brought tattoo into Samoa?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I heard about that one. Yeah,
those types of things, but not anything specific. But to get back to KT, what?
No, I was gonna say. So KT said something about everybody treating Moana 2 as like this vehicle for Polynesian representation when it's clearly not. I disagree.
I think
with
it
that
is.
Also,
yeah.
I
feel like
I'm with that. Like I think Moana 2 is something that we should, get behind as like visibility wise, especially with the numbers that we was just talking about. But if we're talking about, like, if we were just talking about like the strength of the story itself, then
I'm not going there.
Yeah,
I will never publicly admit certain things about that's just
about
me.
what?
About the movie, about Moana.
Okay. I
feel like the message and the movement is a lot bigger than the actual critique of it. So I'm never gonna go there. But actually I might, but just not today. But when it comes to
on Patreon.
On Patreon.
No, not even on Patreon.
Tomorrow.
So with KT's frustrations with people like worshiping this as if it's the end all be all when it comes to Pacific Islander culture and everything. I get that. I think one thing that she pointed out, or one thing that she said that I want to point out, is she said at our big age, and I agree that sometimes, not sometimes, I agree, we're old enough to do our own research. We're old enough to have an opinion on things, and if we don't know the things, we can go out and find it for ourselves. I agree with that. One thing that I feel like we overlook because of our age group, right? Because of our age group, we even though we grew up with not a lot of representation, we still grew up with The Rock. And for whatever opinions y'all have on The Rock, coming up as a 10-year-old kid who everybody else knew who The Rock was, and they knew you were Samoan, they knew he was Samoan and black, it did something for us as young, especially young boys. Like, it gave us that thing like, oh man, we're cool. We could be cool just like him. He's one of the best wrestlers of all time. We could be cool like him. People older than us didn't have that kind of representation growing up. And so if you go from somebody, like, I'm learning a lot from indigenous culture and native people here. Like an elder who did the land acknowledgement for our training the other day, or a couple weeks ago, he was talking about how, like, he came from residential school where he got taken from his family and put into a Catholic school. And he went from them trying to change everything about his culture and take everything that made him out of him and instill these Catholic, values. That he went from that as a child to now being 70 years old and being paid to come and just speak about whose land this is that we're on. And so we take certain things for granted, but there's people from above us, from older than us, who have never had this kind of representation growing up. And now to see characters who look just like them, or to see scenery that looks where they grew up at, I feel like we at 30-something-year-olds, we understand that there's more to come. We understand that there's more to be done. But for a lot of the older people who have come to grips with life is not long, life is not forever, to be able to go from a life where nobody knows about you outside of your island to now seeing it on a big screen, I feel like there's something to be said about that. It may not be the most accurate representation. There may be a lot of things, room for improvement and whatnot. But there's just a privilege that we speak of as 30-something-year-old people who can see Moana 3 and Moana 4 and all these things come about, who we will, God willing, will be able to watch these things that people from above our generation just never had before. And I feel like this is important for other people outside of our own generation.
So you're saying we're lucky to have this in our current timeline?
Not us. I mean, I see why she's upset. I understand why too. I agree with certain things, but I think other people are probably feeling blessed to go from how they grew up in the 60s, 70s, and then now to where this is on the big screen.
So overall, do y'all agree with what she said about this movie? Like, just overall and everything.
About the movie, yeah, she could have her. I see what she means in terms of plot and all that. Of the reception from the people, no, I do not agree. It reminds me of the Black Panther stuff. When Black Panther came out and everybody was, super obsessed and super excited about it and showing up to the theaters, wearing cultural wear and all these things, and then you had other people who were like, this ain't even a historical feat. Like, this is not even real. This is fake history. But it's like it invokes, it's deeper than the actual thing. There's a lot more to it, So I think, yeah.
That's we said it on
we said it on the Patreon. Like, it's an animated film. Like, it's not gonna touch on every historical thing within our culture to hit those beats to satisfy everybody. And I feel like we should still just take this as it is, which is, a victory. Plot points, we can, because I think we're still doing a misservice by not talking about what we really feel about the story of it all, which we still did on Patreon, but I guess we can save that for certain conversations. Yeah, but I mean, I agree that it's bigger than just the story, right? Like the movement behind it, getting platforms like us to talk about it and really think about these things. Like, that's the entire point, right? So, KT, just please put the gloves down, okay? I'm sorry, but we respectfully disagree.
Shout out
but
to
also
KT,
agree.
man.
Yeah, shout out to
KT
KT.
making moves over there.
For real.
Yeah, I think that's all we got
think
today.
we're good.
But anything else? Anything to add?
What do we got coming up? Yeah, Pacifica movie starter kit, Lupe Falele episode, the review coming next week. Polynesian podcast. We'll be talking about football. Man, fantasy playoffs about to start. Real playoffs is only a couple weeks away. Playoff picture shaking out.
Clinched in all my leagues.
Nice.
Clinched in all my leagues. You know what I'm saying?
We need to interview
Yawn.
this consistently successful manager here. We need to get you got to share some of those tips.
Come on.
Because I think I'm literally, not only did I miss the playoffs, I think I'm in like last place in like 2 or 3 of my leagues. And I'm like, why do I do this much for this?
Yeah.
But yeah, also shout out to KT again for your reference podcast. They'd be breaking down not just Islander movies, but all sorts of stuff. They're based out there in Australia. Follow KT, the other brown film critic. Also shout out to Drew on Drew Afualo comment section, all the podcasts, 2 Idiot Girls and everything like that. She made Forbes 30 under 30 list.
Nice.
Yeah, so definitely not just for us, but for internet people, which I guess also is us. We're on YouTube and podcasts and stuff. That's yeah. So yeah, a bunch of representation and great things going on, man. Love to see it.
Take us out, brother.
This has been another episode of the friggin' show. You nerds, you know what it is. Go far. Episode 106.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ark?
I gotta go get some gas.